What's going on, guys? I'm Brave Hero. In this video we're going to be talking about the meta hand cannons, which are hand cannons like the Palindrome, the Luna, aka the Baby Hawk Moon, and Fennel's Peril, and others in that archetype. These are the most rewarding, but take the most time to understand and become proficient with them. They have the ability to 3-tap a Guardian, and that allows these hand cannons to fall in the category of probably the best time to kill, or up there, you know, along with the Clever Dragon and other primary weapons. Before we get into the weaves of the hand cannons, I want to begin by telling you something that I tell myself, or I constantly remind myself in the Crucible. You know, play as if the Guardian you're going to engage with wants to shove a Matador down your throat. So I tell myself that over and over. So let me show you a quick clip on where I bait an enemy out and he wants to shove a Matador down my throat. So let's take a look at that. So in this clip right here, I notice on my radar there's an enemy on the other side of this wall. And again, I told myself, this guy might have a Matador. More than likely, he's going to have a Matador, and he wants to shove it down my throat. So I bait him out with a grenade. He bites on it, comes out. At any time, he could have disengaged and reevaluated, pulled his primary out, you know, and engaged me again. But going warrior mode, he's going to loop around and try to shotgun me still. Gets hit by the Axion Bolt and dies to my hipfire hand cannon. So like I said, you constantly want to tell yourself, play as if somebody on the other side of that wall, or other side of that next engagement you're going to get into, that guy wants to shove a Matador down your throat. If you play like that, you're going to survive more often, you know. So the next thing I want to get into is I want to talk about understanding the range of the hand cannon. Now when you hear range, you hear stuff like rangefinder, reinforced barrel, rifled barrel. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about understanding range. So let's take a look at the first clip. So in this clip, I want to show you the ideal range where you can win 100% of your engagements. Right here, if you were to get flinched by this enemy, you'd still have the ability to land good shots. So it is a 3-tap, 2 and 3. This next engagement I'm going to show you, this is the no-go range. For some of you experienced hand cannon users, you already know not to engage here. But for someone new to hand cannons, you'll probably engage. I want to show you that your 3-tap hand cannon now becomes a 4-shot kill due to damage drop off. And not only that, if your Guardian was to fire, if that Guardian was to fire back and flinch me, the probability of me winning that gunfight, I'm probably gonna get beat. Especially if it's a Mida multi-tool or even a Clever Dragon, maybe a Grasp. But look, I'm gonna try to fire 3 shots, you know, criticals. That's 1 right there, critical. Ghost bullet. Another ghost bullet. Another ghost bullet. Another ghost bullet. It's kind of sad, huh? So not even that. Now you have to deal with ghost bullets. So, still understanding range, I want to show you where you do not want to engage. I see this Guardian way out there. And if I was to engage here, if he starts strafing, my crosshairs aren't even on him, and my shot still lands. So right now you're dealing with ghost bullets. You're dealing with, you know, the funnel of every time you shoot, there's a little funnel that spreads out and then closes, opens up and closes. So look, I start getting fired at. That's 1 shot from a scout rifle. So engaging a scout rifle is a no-go. So right there I land 1 critical, 2 critical, 3 criticals, and he still has a good amount of life left. Yeah, I'm sure if I land another critical, you know, he'll probably kill him, but all he has to do is land a 2-tap on me, 3-tap with that scout rifle, and I'm dead. So this brings us into our next topic, which is going to be selecting engagements. So selecting engagements is pretty much knowing what you can take on with a hand cannon and knowing what you have to back away and reevaluate the situation. So let's take a look at that now. Selecting engagements. So right here, if you notice my radar, I'm starting to get pressed from behind. And he's moving kind of quick, so more than likely he's got a shotgun in his hand and he's going to want to shoot me with it. So I back away to reevaluate the situation. I turn around, you know, to bait the subject out. I pull in, then I notice 2 to 3 people on my radar. I grenade it, get assistance from a teammate, and I tell myself, let's not go through there. So by selecting engagements, look at this next gun battle I'm going to get into right here. I press out and I notice that there's 4 enemies there. I can't kill 4 people with my hand cannon. And if they were sniping, if you saw that red light right there, he was sniping. And more than likely, he was going to take me down. So I decided to reevaluate, move back, reload, and re-engage from another position. And right there, it's called selecting engagements. By selecting engagements, you're going to give yourself the better opportunity to survive and take down Guardians without actually getting flinched, without getting pressed, anything like that. So your best bet is to reevaluate, move out. If there's too many people on your radar, leave, come back, and fight again. But if you try to challenge 2 people with a hand cannon, or even 3, more than likely you're going to get beat every time because they're going to team shot you. A hand cannon is a good gun. I don't care how good you can strafe. You're not going to take on 3 Guardians with, just a hand cannon. Now, you can take on one-on-one engagement and you'll win that one, 85% of the time. But if you try to take on somebody with a hand cannon, you're trying to take on somebody and you have a hand cannon and it's 2 subjects with, pulse rifles, you're going to get beat. So in this next part, I'm going to be explaining the consistency of the hand cannon. And talking about ideal range, look at this next engagement I'm about to get into. I start getting pressed by a universal remote, and look how quickly I can take him down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Done. That was extremely quick. So consistency. I'm not going to get too much into this one only because, you saw the first demonstration and how many, ghost bullets there were. That was a lot of ghost bullets. But let's get into consistency. So in this part, we're going to be talking about consistency. As you see, I land an 81 headshot there, critical. I get about this far, further back, and I land a 50. I believe it's a 59 critical, maybe 55. I'm not too sure right now. Let me see here. I got a few ghost bullets and a 55 critical, which is further back. I just want to explain that these weapons are extremely. One second, let me just. He's bothering me there. There you go. These weapons are very inconsistent from range. So right now I'm going to land a 59, critical shot. I'm going to step further back, land a few ghost bullets, inconsistent. I get forward, closer, and I land a 55. I'm closer, and I'm landing a 55 critical shot than I did when I hit a 59 critical shot. So this just tells you that these weapons are inconsistent from range. So in my opinion, you stick to the ideal range up close. If you need to move and get a better positioning on, whoever you're engaging, then do that. But a straight up one-on-one, gunfight like this from distance, you're gonna lose. So in this next part, we're gonna be talking about perks. You hear all the time, you gotta get luck in the chamber, but I don't think luck in the chamber is actually that effective on a hand cannon. I have it on my Luna, and it's okay, I guess. Maybe with small bore, it'll lower it to 9 rounds. But if you're like me and you have a Luna that is 10 rounds, it's gonna proc once, and that round could be a miss, could be a ghost bullet. So I don't really think it's that effective. But talking about rounds, I can honestly say, in my opinion, I believe Outlaw is a good perk, Rangefinder is a good perk. Life support, underdog, perks that you don't normally, I guess, use for the most part. Like, Mulligan's a good perk. I don't recommend triple tap, unless you're going to use that hand cannon also in PvE. But, what's another one? Matter of fact, let me just, let me pull up on the screen real quick. And there you go. Spray and play, it's okay, but normally you never get to the bottom of the magazine. Hot swap it's a good one if you're constantly switching from sniper to your hand cannon. That'll work. Last resort, I guess handling and reloads faster. Maybe for trials. Rangefinder's actually one I do recommend, and Outlaw. Those two right there are really good perks. Outlaw only because you can engage another target as soon as you get that critical kill. Boom, go into another target. Rangefinder, you don't want any more drop off range that you're gonna get already. Looking at the next set of perks that you can normally get. Mulligan's a good one. Life support's a good one. Third Eye, Grenadier, reactive reload. It's pretty much getting luck in the chamber on your next, shot you fire. If you can get 2 off, it's 2 luck in the chambers. Icarus, these hand cannons already have good, accuracy in the air. Army of One isn't bad. Hidden Hand's actually a really good one I do recommend. So those are just the perks, you know, that you can get on some of these hand cannons. I do recommend, you know, Hidden Hand, Life Support, Mulligan. I use it all the time on the vendor version Palindrome. But I don't want these, any of the stuff that I just said right now to throw you off and say, oh, I don't want these hand cannons, they're garbage. Because if you see these clips right here, they're really accurate weapons. But you have to know your ideal range. You have to select your engagements. And pretty much you just have to, you know, get better with it, practice. But hand cannons should not, just because they're inaccurate at wrong distances, it should not turn you away from using one. Because if you look at all these pro players, they're using these hand cannons because they're the fastest time to kill right now. So I recommend you guys practicing with them if you're going to use it. And just because you lose a few games with them, you know, you lose a few rounds, you lose a few matches, who cares, you know? Get better with it. You know, you're only going to get better with it is if you keep using it. Currently, I only use 2 weapons when I go into sweaty matches. Like, right now, Skirmish, since, you know, it's, you know, the dry content, you know, time of the Destiny. It's nothing but sweaty teams, you know? It's nothing but, you know, teams of 3, everyone's using Palindrome, everyone's using a God Roll Luna, everyone's using a Hawksaw, Clever Dragon, Matador, Last Word. You know, for those types of games, yeah, I put on my Palindrome. I put on my Hawksaw. You know, I put on my tryhard pants on, you know? So I recommend, you know, you go out there and if you want a good hand cannon, you buy the vendor version Palindrome. That one right there is by far probably the best roll you can get. I have plenty of Palindromes that I got from Lord Shaxx, and, you know, Reactive Reload, Outlaw, I can't get one that has the roll that I want. But for now, the vendor version Palindrome is good enough. And that brings us to the end of the video. Like I said, don't let this turn you away from using hand cannons. They're accurate guns. If you hip fire them, they're almost like if you're aiming in. You know, I really hope this video helps you guys out. You know, especially you new people who want to use, you know, hand cannons. You know what I mean? Like that's the fastest time to kill, you know, gun. But you have to start practicing with it now. Because if there is a weapon balance patch, you know, coming up pretty soon, I'm pretty sure they're not going to nerf hand cannons. I'm pretty sure they're not going to nerf a lot of weapons. They're going to make them faster to kill. And if you become proficient with a hand cannon, then you have nothing to worry about when you go into the new meta. But if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, or you know, informative, by all means, a like is appreciated. Comment down below on, you know, what types of hand cannons you like to use and what rolls. And also, if on screen you're going to see 2 other videos. Hopefully I can get them up in time. But you'll see 2 other videos about sniping. I should have another video about sniping coming up pretty soon too, about quick scoping. And aside from that, that's going to be it. I'll see you in the Crucible.
Relics are the key to our path. The more we recover, the stronger the city will become.